When Robert Downey Jr. was preparing for the role of Tony Stark Iron Man, guess who he wanted to interview? Elon Musk, because he is something like the real Iron Man. At just 50 years old and with a fortune of over $200 billion, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, planning the first city on Mars, revolutionizing the automotive industry, developing the world's first brain chip, and has now even taken over Twitter. And by the way, he has 7 children and a pretty wild private life. Many see Musk as one of the most influential people of our time, who will still be in some history books 500 years from now. But how does he do it? How can a person manage all this? What are the secrets in his daily routine? And does a person like Elon Musk even have time for hobbies, family, and other interests? In this video, we will answer all these questions about one of the most interesting people in the world and show you a day in Elon Musk's life and some sad truths about him and his family. It will be exciting, curious, and sometimes unexpectedly sad, so stay tuned here at Wisefool. Elon Musk's day begins with a first surprise. He doesn't wake up in a luxury villa like other billionaires. Instead, Elon has lived in a 430 square foot tiny house from Boxable for a good year. The house has only one room, is exceptionally furnished, almost like a modern student apartment, and costs just $50,000, including construction. But Musk didn't even buy the house anymore. Instead, the house stands on the company grounds of his space company, SpaceX, in the US city of Boca Chica, Texas. Interestingly, he thus lives less than 12 miles from the Mexican border. But of course, this was only sometimes the case. A few years ago, Elon Musk owned several lavish mansions in California. During the pandemic, however, he decided to sell all his possessions, including his houses, because he believed possessions only weighed him down and wanted to move to Texas for political reasons. Elon's mornings in Texas begin with a ritual. He wakes up at precisely 7 a.m. daily. According to his statements, he habitually maintained a fixed routine at some point. He also avoids sleeping longer because otherwise his productivity suffers. In general, Elon Musk's life is about productivity. The rest of his daily routine is meticulously divided into 5-minute units and planned from morning to night. However, Elon rarely plans his activities himself. Instead, a team of several assistants creates Elon's schedule, handles all contact requests, and plans his trips for him. This always ensures that every minute of his valuable time is well spent. After getting up, Elon first devotes himself to a routine he described in an Ask Me Anything Q&A on Reddit as the most important habit for his success: the daily shower. According to Elon, this has 2 significant effects. Firstly, it helps him get his circulation going. And secondly, it is one of the best places to come up with new ideas and new creative approaches to solving problems for his work. Another unique feature follows this in his daily routine. Elon forgoes breakfast almost every day and thus engages in interval fasting. In other words, he only eats lunch and dinner and then does not eat any solid food for at least 16 hours a day. On the one hand, this is an easy way to stay in shape, but on the other hand, the Tesla boss also admits that his primary intention is to save time. However, he still doesn't want to do it without his morning coffee. In an interview, Elon once said he was fundamentally opposed to food, and if there were a way for him to stop eating altogether to work more, he would use it immediately. After Elon's short morning, one of 2 things usually happens. He drives from his home a few hundred yards to SpaceX headquarters in Boca Chica to push ahead with his plans for the first human-crewed Mars mission and a city on Mars. Or Elon drives to the tarmac of the adjacent airport, where his $70 million private jet is waiting for him. In fact, his only possession he has yet to sell. For Elon, the jet is the most efficient way to get from point A to point B. Most of the time, he flies from Boca Chica to Austin, Texas, where the new Tesla Gigafactory, by some standards the largest factory building in the world, was recently built. But not infrequently, he also flies to California, where SpaceX and Tesla also operate significant sites. Since the opening of the Gigafactory near Berlin, Elon is also regularly in the German capital to check Tesla's progress there. By the way, Elon always uses the time on the plane for a specific activity, reading non-fiction books on his iPhone. Elon started reading excessively at age 10, and for years he read every day for several hours, sometimes up to 12 hours. According to his estimates, he has now read several thousand books. Elon's working day is very varied because he naturally has to divide his time between his various projects. He spends around 45% of his working time on Tesla. As CEO, he has to fulfill many management duties there. In addition, he is constantly working with his engineers to optimize the production processes, and therefore has several meetings a week in which he makes strategic and practical decisions. Even in meetings, he places a lot of emphasis on productivity, so much that he has been known to leave unproductive meetings immediately and without notice. And he even consistently fires employees if they don't meet specific productivity criteria or haven't subscribed to Wisefool. According to many Tesla employees, however, he is open to being present in the factories regularly and attending to production detail. On the other hand, Elon spends another 40% of his working time on his space company SpaceX, which on the one hand wants to provide fast internet worldwide with the Starlink rocket, and on the other hand is working on colonizing Mars and on the long-term turning humanity into an interplanetary species. Unlike his work at Tesla, however, Musk consistently devotes himself to design and engineering activities at SpaceX. According to his statements, Musk, who has a degree in engineering, thrives on direct work on the rockets and their technical design. Musk spends the remaining 15% of his working time with his other companies, first and foremost with the Boring Company, which digs tunnels in metropolitan areas to ensure smoother traffic, and Neuralink. This company tries to create a brain-computer interface, and most recently, Twitter. On the other hand, Musk uses the rest of his time to attend press appointments. In addition, he regularly appears in podcasts and other interviews. He is considered one of the most public-spirited billionaires in the world, not least because of his wild Twitter account. By the way, if you're wondering when Musk manages to post his curious tweets, he admitted in an interview that he often writes his tweets on the toilet or during short breaks and says whatever comes to mind. By the way, he takes almost no breaks during his workday. Even for his lunch, he has scheduled only 5 minutes according to his 5-minute cycles. With all his commitments, Elon has estimated that he works 100 hours a week every week. But despite his immense workload, Elon does not only work, but primarily uses his evenings for other things, even if he usually only has a few hours left. However, how he spends his evenings depends primarily on where he is. When he is at the Tesla Gigafactory in Texas, for example, he spends his evenings in this villa on Lake Austin. According to the Wall Street Journal, the villa belongs to his good friend and co-founder of PayPal, Ken Howry. But even outside of Austin, Musk is known for rarely visiting hotels or the like. Instead, he always prefers to stay with friends when he travels. On his business trips to California, he often visits one of the founders of Google, Larry Page, with whom he has been a close friend for many years, and is also said to have given Elon important advice when Tesla threatened to go bankrupt a few years ago. However, Elon Musk's evening activities are most unusual when he is in Berlin. Since the opening of the Gigafactory, he has been seen there several times in various clubs. He has even been to the famous fetish club Kit Kat, known for being uninhibited and revealing. According to the employees there, he has also danced for several hours and reserved some tables with some people, even wearing a Zorro mask. Especially when Musk is in his tiny house in Boca Chica, he sometimes spends an evening alone, or mainly with the media. After all, Musk is a passionate gamer, even if he rarely gets to it, and according to his tweets, has already played through dozens of games in the most challenging mode. Even if it's controversial, he admitted on Twitter that he especially enjoys playing Cyberpunk, but counts games like Elden Ring and Halo Infinite among his all-time favorites. Besides gaming, he enjoys watching series, especially if they have futuristic content, such as Black Mirror or Rick and Morty, which he has even appeared in himself. And, as befits a meme lord, he also likes to watch South Park. However, despite his varied life, Elon Musk's day often ends with the same sad fact. Musk has been suffering from sleep disorders for quite a few years. In 2018, it became known that he regularly takes the sleeping pill zolpidem, which in many cases can lead to addiction and, like benzodiazepines, is also often abused as a recreational drug. According to Musk, it is usually his choice to either not sleep or take zolpidem. So the tech mogul tries to get at least 6 hours of sleep daily. If you've been paying attention, you'll probably have noticed one aspect of Elon Musk's life that we haven't touched on yet: his family life. Musk is now a father of 7, and his children naturally play a significant role in his life. But as we already mentioned, his family life was challenging. With his first wife, Justine Musk, he had his first daughter in 2002, Nevada Musk. But then a disaster happened. At 10 weeks, the little girl died of sudden infant death syndrome, and Elon had to watch it happen. After that, however, the couple experienced a miracle. They had twins and triplets one after the other, and were suddenly the parents of 5 sons. In recent years, Elon had 2 more children with the singer grime. He also spends a lot of time with his children. His sons visit him regularly for several days, but always only on the factory grounds of Elon's companies, since Elon does not or cannot take time off for them, but they accompany him at his work instead. By the way, contact with his ex-wife and all arrangements regarding the children go only through Elon's assistants. The only exception Elon says he makes every year is a week-long camping trip with his sons. Nevertheless, many people from Elon's environment report that he is a perfect and loving father within the scope of his possibilities. A few years ago, for example, he had his school called Ad Astra School, designed especially for his children, where a particular curriculum is taught, with subjects such as mechanical engineering or artificial intelligence. So despite his intense professional life, Elon cares a lot about the education and upbringing of his children. As you can see, Elon Musk is a real exception. On the one hand, he is an idealist who takes unusual paths. But on the other hand, he is also an absolute doer. As a result, he often makes consistent and radical decisions, such as always getting up at the same time, organizing his day into 5-minute units, selling all his possessions at once, and placing the highest value on his productivity. But despite all that, he's also a person who loves to have fun, whether gambling, partying, or tweeting in the bathroom. So write in the comments what you think of him. We are curious. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this glimpse into Elon Musk's private life. We'll see you in the next episode here at Wisefool.